Sports pregame show.
Tonight we'll see the Washington Wizards playing against the Nets in Brooklyn. Looking at the Nets, they feel like they're at their best when they start fast, get into a rhythm early on, and get everyone involved. Offense, defense, on the glass, they're looking for a total team effort tonight. And we'll be seeing Kevin Durant. Some compare his game to the Iceman George Gervin. What you all think of that?
I say that's a pretty fair comparison. He has the George Gervin skill, but at a much bigger size.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would be a fair comparison. There's a lot of guys. He doesn't get the finger roll, Ernest, as you are alluding to. But he did still like Dirk Nowitzki, KD one-leg fadeaway. Remember that? He stole that.
Got about 35 points right now, Ernie.
And you haven't touched one of them.
Too high. Can't jump higher than the ball.
Pump fake. I like it.
Can't jump higher than the ball. Can't jump higher than the ball.
I'm lighting it up.
There below is Barclays Center and the borough of Brooklyn, where there's never a dull moment. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. Tonight, we'll see the Brooklyn Nets as they play against the Washington Wizards. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Well, Kevin Durant said his days of trying to prove himself through basketball are done. He said, walking around with a chip on my shoulder is not my thing. I'm more relaxed than letting these days flow. I'm the best version of me. I don't need to prove who I am. I've been in it for too long. Kevin, this is a guy who is finally comfortable with himself.
All right, thanks, DA. We've got a terrific front court matchup tonight. Chris, you were the prototypical 4 when you played. Who is the toughest power forward you had to defend?
Kev, I'm going to give you the same answer I always have. When I was in the West Coast, any given week, this is who I had to guard in a week's time. Tim Duncan, Garnett, Nowitzki, Rasheed Wallace, Robert Horry, it's Karl Malone. That was all in the West Coast, and I think I played in the golden era of power forwards. And so I would just say, put all the names in the hat, pick one out, and that's who was the toughest, because it was like that every night.
Hall of Famers, including yourself. So a look at the starters for the Wizards.
Get on Beal.
Hachimura out there with Dawson. Then there's Bradley Beal. That's Goose. And it's Samuels in at the 2-guard spot. And for the Nets, they've got Cowboy. Irving is out there with Jay. That's Durant. And it's Jay in at the 5 down low. And there's the pass to Irving. Washington with the rebound.
I love to see the defense exhibit some passion in protecting the rim right there.
Irving against Beal. Pass to Hachimura. Durant with some nice D.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D. Avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
Washington with the ball. After the miss from KD. Shots good by Samuels.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
It's Durant with the drive, and it's blocked. It's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Here's Irving.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They, right now, are searching for a bucket. A career best season for Kyrie Irving in 2018-19. Scoring just as great as ever, but it was the other areas, playmaking, rebounding, defense, where he made tremendous strides.
And the Nets with possession here after the basket by Washington. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
And the Celtics expected Kyrie to become a better passer and defender in Boston.
They felt he had the capability. You could argue that those improvements have elevated him from a great scorer to a great player in our league.
Pass to Lewis. It's blocked. In transition, here come the Nets. Here we go. And then Durant with the top.
There's just no answer for Durant inside. It looks like you should be able to body him up, and you can forget about that.
And so it's Beal. He'll bring it up for the Wizards. So timeout called here. The first for Washington.
Well, the Wizards last year, I mean, they struggled on defense. We saw that, which was a big part of why they missed out on the playoffs. Now, teams know it is a weakness, and that's something they need to address. This team knows it.
A platoon swap here for Brooklyn for the Wizards. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Chris, with the Wizards and their lack of defense, last season it showed up in the numbers.
Yeah, Kevin, they were second to last in effective field goal percentage against in the league. I mean, that just didn't challenge shooters inside and out. No amount of offense can make up for that.
First one at the line is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Oh, he's never rattled at the stripe. Always has that nice soft touch on his free throws.
Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Allen dishes to G. Shot clock at 6. Knocked away. Down low. Here's Wale. It's deflected, and he gets it back. And here we go. The fast break with Dinwiddie. And slammed on by Jordan.
And any lob to Jordan is about as sure a thing as you can get. So athletic for a big with tremendous hands, and big fella knows how to get in prime position for those alley-oop deeds.
Here's Shorty following the basket by DeAndre Jordan. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can't blame the ref for making that call at all. The defense in general is already at such a disadvantage as it is.
Brooklyn shooting their first free throw. First trip to the line in this one.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
He's off on the first. And the free throw is good, now leading by 1. For Washington, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. D passes to Wale. Here's D. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, easy call.
The Wizards have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And last season, 77% from the line. They usually get the job done there.
And he knocks down the first one. So he gets them both.
Oh, this is a big fella who has no problems at the foul line. I mean, a very smooth touch on the stroke.
Now here's Dinwiddie. From the arc. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Wizards lead by 1. Live from Brooklyn, New York, you're watching 2K Sports. One of the league's best point guards, Kyrie Irving, had this to say about his competition.
2011, I came into a league where the point guard position was still being revolutionized, and now guys are solidifying that spot every single year. There are young guys coming in, but now we have established point guards that are franchise-changing point guards. And for me, having that competitive drive every single game, I know I'm going against an elite point guard every single game. So I think that now coming into the league, it's a lot different than it was before.
Some say, Greg, a golden age at the point guard position.
Yeah, and Irving right there with the best of them. He embraces the challenge.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And when you consider how the Wizards are doing, guys, your thoughts?
They've gotten to the line with tremendous consistency here through the first period.
Yeah, I like the attitude they've shown coming in here. I mean, really applying pressure and trying to give this crowd nothing to cheer about.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So the Wizards 5 right now. We've got Wall, P out there with D. Then it's Shorty, and it's B in its center. The first free throw is good. Whereas when it comes to playing alongside another big guy, I'm sure you have to think of ways to complement each other. Not just him, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah, but it starts with chemistry, it starts with friendship, it starts with wanting to win. And I played with two big guys that come to mind that made me better. Juwan Howard there in Washington, just looking at him throwing the loop. I would miss 2-3 shots in a row, and we'd look and he'd say, I'll get you an easy one, big fella. And I would do the same thing to him. We're playing with a guy like Vlade that would say, hey, wait a minute, Bibby or Peja didn't get a shot, set a screen for them, and he would pass it to them, and then the next play say, now it's your turn, you're open, because they're going to go over there to those guys. We already tricked the defense ahead. So guys that are smart, guys that can pass, and also guys that will say, hey, man, you look a little tired. Let's switch. I'll check shots.
So for the Nets, Harris LeVert's checked in for Dinwiddie, and Mr. Moves subbed in for Jay. And a switcher also for Washington. Ryan is checked in for Shorty. The Nets with the lead. Mr. Moves passes to Jordan. And here's LeVert. Passes it to Mr. Moves. All with the steal. Here's B. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jay's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Cowboy comes in for Jared Allen. And Durant subbed in for G. And a change for the Wizards. Samuels checked in. start in the second quarter, about a minute gone. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, and it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. Players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. And some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you. A wide open look for Durant. Drills it from outside. KD's got the lead up to 3 now for the Nets.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're hitting some momentum, some confidence. Nice play.
Here's Boyle. That's tipped, but he recovers it. D cans it from downtown. D's got 5.
This is why you can't leave guys open around ball. He'll notice it and exploit it.
D's gone 50% from the arc, 1 of 2. Here's Mr. Moves. Whoa, with a block. And he recovers it. LeVert with a wide open look. No good from outside. Wizards have gone 2 of 5 in the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Offensive rebound. And so it's KD with it. He brings up the ball for the Nets. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Ball against LeVert. Fires from 14. That one off the back iron and out.
Nice interior defense. Can't give him any space inside or he'll burn
The Nets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
At the line for 2.
And he makes the first. So for the Nets, Jay's checked in for Durant. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Karis LeVert. And Jay subbed in for Mr. Moves. And so he hits both.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Got a piece of it.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Here's Hachimura. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. On the pass to Wale. Beal with it. Just 5 to shoot. And again, Washington no good.
He found the open space for mid-range. Just maybe rush his release a little bit.
Pass to Jay. Dishes it to Dinwiddie. Can't cash in from close range.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Tie game in Brooklyn. A chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Bradley. The old saying, no rebounds, no rings. How important is it to continue to have 5 guys go to the glass in the second half?
Yeah, all five guys. Well, I think we're too worried about getting out in transition. So I think 1 through 5, including the guards, we all got to get in there and rebound.
You can't score unless you have the ball, right? Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Scoring in the paint, that's an area where they can improve. With the defense sagging in, they settle for a lot of jump shots in the first half. Coming out of the break, I think it'll be better running off pick and rolls, hitting cutters, moving toward the hoop, and old Boston Celtics style basketball.
And Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Wizards.
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for the reserve to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side, my brother.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. We've seen Kevin Durant really having a great game.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
He's so good at reading opportunities and seizing up on whatever the defense gives up.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. We've got Jay out there with Irving, and it's Cowboy, and it's KD, and it's small forward. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. To the left side wing. Here's Samuels. Another one falls for Washington. Fans just, broadcasters, love to see teams get out and attack in transition. I'd like to see the league crack down on intentional fouls that will hold that break, down that break, stifle that break.
No, because the home fans or the fans of the team is fouling. Doesn't want that team to get out and get an easy 2 points. I mean, we still have to have defense in the game. So anything that takes away from teams scoring, you just can't say, well, we want to watch them score. Don't do it. No. And very honestly, if you're an unselfish team, usually on those breaks, it's usually because a player holds the ball too right. Usually they have another open player in front of them that they can pass it up to. And if you're an unselfish team, usually you'll still give the fans what they want. And that's a crazy highlight in the break.
Here is Samuels. Pass to Lewis. Outside Beal from deep three-point range, and the Wizards hit again from deep.
This is what you think of when you hear Beal's name. A dangerous three-point shooter.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
Now, that's what coaches are paid to do, right? I mean, curious to see what they go with here.
Big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Allen's checked in for Jay. G comes in for Cowboy. LeVert's checked in for Jay. And Mr. Moves subbed in for Irving. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Here's Mr. Moves, covered by Wall. LeVert kicks to KD. A shot off that time. Wizards leading by 3. And even after the Achilles tear for Durant in the 2019 finals, he got a huge contract after he opted out.
Most teams felt they were willing to pay him while he rehabbed for a year. That was the case as the Nets gave him a 4-year max money deal. His next chapter is underway as he changed his number to 7.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. He doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. Some changes for Brooklyn. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Durant. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Karis LeVert. And Jay subbed in for Mr. Moves. And a switcher also for Washington. Shorty, he's checked in for Bryant. 1:35 left here in the third quarter. Nets passing it around. Here's G. Missed inside.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend it.
Taking it up strong against size. He does not lack the confidence.
Absolutely not. And in his mind, no one can stop him on that, no matter the size.
The free throw drops for Dinwiddie. And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Second round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season signed that 4-year, $48 million extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
Now, here's Dinwiddie. Allen outside. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. He's made one and missed one so far in the game.
At the line for two.
That free throw, no good. Wizards making a switch here. Bertin is checked in. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. For Washington, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field.
Well, the few guys in the league who make a lead pass like that are just a fantastic look.
And if they're thinking, they can get a 2-for-1 here.
You just have to manage the clock correctly. Or sometimes it's easier said than done if you also want to get a good look.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Wale, and it's blocked, and they get it back. Here's G. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Shot is good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from James. Here's Shorty. And the Wizards getting another bucket right there.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
Now, Dinwiddie. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's the Wizards. They lead by 4. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Wizards leading by 4. So on the 4 for Washington. Shorty out there with B. Then it's P. Then it's P. And it's Bertin in at the 4 slot. Here's Dawson. Passes it to Wale. Shoots. And that one goes long.
He's done a lot of the little things to help put them in front. I mean, but his offense has not been there for them tonight. Here's
Dinwiddie, and it's blocked. Arcing shot. Here's Bertanis. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket. Bertan's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Wizards. The pass to Cowboy. Dinwiddie outside. Here's Cowboy. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
Well, Greg, this is why they go to him in these spots. I mean, they trust his judgment and ability to score down the stretch.
Here's Shorty. Pass to Bertans. And no good.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D. Avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
Brooklyn making some changes. Durant's checked in for G. Jay comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Jay. The Wizards also changing it up. Lewis checked in for Bertanis. Hachimura comes in for P. And it's John Wall in for Shorty. Here is Samuels. Pass to Dawson. 6 on the shot clock. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here. Clock at 4. Snatched away. Wall looking it over. Lewis down low. Second chance effort. It's tipped. And they're running to tie it up. Jay the pass to KD. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
When KD gets it in that close to the rim, you're out a good option. He's so good. I mean, sometimes you just give him the foul. You just give the foul.
Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that narrows the gap to 1.
Yeah, and the winning mentality of Durant, I mean, he can take over games. He puts the team on his back.
That one drops. He ties it up.
Now, that's big free throws from the player. They depend on in those situations.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. The Nets have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Cowboy passes to Jay. Irving from long range. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And it's Wall with the ball for the Wizards. Count it good.
Look, you know that term. Crucial points in the game because he knows how to step up in the field.
Outside Irving. Shoots it. It's deflected, but he gets it back. Here's Cowboy. Outside for Durant. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Shot from 16. Misses off the left eye.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that.
Textbook defense. I mean, it took a good angle to the shooter and bothered the release.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
This isn't like him. And he knows it. The best thing they can do is try to get him more easy looks.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. They're trailing by 4. 27 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, John Wall.
And to me, the best part of his game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every
back in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Kenny Atkinson had some words for his team during the break. He told them to stick with it. He said, this game is right here, guys. This is our game to take. Precision, purpose, and poise. Kevin, we'll see if they can get it done.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're leading by 2. 24 seconds left in the fourth. And now we've got the intentional foul. Seconds left in the fourth quarter, and that's an intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Gets them both, and it's a 4-point ballgame.
Those are big. I mean, turns into a 2-possession game.
Timeout called the Nets. They're behind by 4. We got 22 seconds left in the game.
Love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, he approached that one with total confidence. He has what it takes to come through in the clutch.
Had to foul him on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
Drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Wizards making a switch here. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ballgame. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Jay. Launches a 3. Lewis grabs the board.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
Yeah, that's a good defender making a great play, and he does it without fouling.
Shooting for Washington, Bradley Beal. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
Yeah, and after 1 year of collegiate basketball, Bill knew he was ready for the NBA, and I'd say he was right.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Oh, with a chance to ice the game, he's got perfect focus at the line. You could put this one in the books.
And so Washington takes the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother him. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. With John Wall. John, do you think this team has reached its potential, or is there still room to grow?
We can go to a high level. You know, we still can get better defensively. Offensively, our efficiency is not there yet. You know, we still getting used to playing with others. We got a lot of room for improvement.
That's good news for Wizards fans, John. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge, This is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. See you next time.